Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. Glad you're with us on this Friday morning. Had a good week here on the show. We appreciate your viewership. Let's take a look at our weather. Brought to us by Gulf Coast Air Conditioning, Drew Pollard and hardworking crew, taking care of our everyday comfort needs. High today 70, low 62. Not a bad day. Got some rain coming tomorrow, but what a pretty day today. Our water temperature brought to us by Alco Electric in Lynn Haven is right at, this morning is reading a 63.9, so we can round that off to 64, which is that's very seasonal this time of year, around 64. Our river reading brought to us by our good folks at Panama City Coca-Cola. How about Apalachicola? It's been flat now for a couple of days and it continues that. We're looking at, it's reading right at 8 foot and level for the weekend. Look at Choctaw Carabel, we're looking at a 6.4 and it's on the rise. And so there's going to be some rising water, which, you know, if you learn how to fish rising water and dropping water, you catch them just as good as you can any other time. So learn how to fish those little creeks and all. Tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn. Today we're looking at, this is February the, can you believe February the 7th, really strong, I'm sorry, March the 7th. February just flew by, March is flying by. And don't forget time change is Sunday. But anyway, today, the tide chart today is going to be low at 250 this morning and high at 330 after lunch. So a good, strong incoming tide. Plus it's going to be aided by that wind coming in from southeast at about 10 to 15. So you're going to get some of that bait fish, and not a lot of bait fish out there now, but what little bit there is going to be sort of pushed up in shallow water. All those little things are important. Let's go into our fishing game times on Friday. We'd like to do it in this segment here, brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers, 5:31 to 7:31 this morning, right now, and tonight 6:01 to 8:01. All right, take a break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. We had Billy Cranston on yesterday talking about walking through the woods and just getting out there. And like I said, he inspired me to do it Sunday afternoon after church and all. I just went up there and got out, and I just wanted to show you. I love walking around, and especially this time of year. So let me see if I can get it hooked up here. And here we go right here. So I'm just up there. It's amazing how things just keep growing. But what I want to show you, I'm talking about wood decaying, how the trees decay between the bottom tree and the top tree. See, this bottom one is decaying. It's had the, beetles in it, eating on everything. But this top one is not exposed to the ground. But see all the look at that. I love watching that decay. I don't know if people get a kick out of that or not over the years. These all came from 2018 when the hurricane came through and knocked everything down. And you can see, I've got another picture of it. See the ones on the ground, how they just sort of actually just decay away. But the ones back there off the ground, like that one, won't do it. So what I try to do is push all of them on the ground. But I get a kick out of just doing something like that. So anyway, it doesn't, it's amazing watching them decay, because you got all kinds of insects in there eating on everything, but it's got to be in contact with the ground for that to happen. And so anyway, I was looking for sheds and also for big snakes, and I found neither. I was really surprised. I stayed there a couple of hours, and I walked back and forth and through everything, and I didn't find any of anything. But man, I just had a wonderful time, and I was tired. Okay, now look, we're going to go to something. You're going to say, what is that? Because when I read this, I thought it was a joke, but here it is. Okay, check this out. The Great Florida Bigfoot Conference. To put this on your calendar, it's going to be down in Ocala. It'll be around the Ocala National Forest. But anyway, folks are having speakers come in. Look at this. Speakers are coming in, Native Americans, and they're all going to talk about it. And I got on the bottom, he's had an encounter. They'll have the skunk ape round table. Is this crazy? But it's going to be at the Expo World Equestrian Center is where it's going to be in Ocala. So if you're into that Bigfoot thing, put that on your calendar. In fact, here's another little advertisement. Saturday, April the 5th, It'll go from 8 a.m. that morning, and you'll see all different things. But look at the guy. I got tickled. The boat, the airboat this guy's on. I told Gail, this reminds me of some of my high school buddies. He looks like one, acts like them. Anyway, let's go to something more realistic. Okay, got this from Jack Nichols. Remember we had David Hawkins, we're taking that hook removal out. He said that hook removal, Jack's out there in Colorado, outside of Denver. That hook removal video made me squirm a little. That's a tough guy. Out here, we use barbless hooks, so it's not nearly as painful when the inevitable happens. My brother grills me about them by calling them Peter hooks, okay? But if keeping a tight line, I've rarely lost a fish, even speckled trout, redfish and bass. And I know folks try those barbless hooks. Okay. Now, listen, this is some really good pictures. This is from an amateur, taken with her phone. And she's talking about this beautiful stump hole resident. It's a picture of an eagle. He stayed and stayed, and an eagle will do that in a tree because they're looking for food. And anyway, she said, my daddy, who passed 2 years ago, was retired Air Force, and his love for eagles always makes me think of him. And I felt like he was watching, basically, gotta love our slice of heaven. So here are the pictures. Okay, let's go back. The first picture she took, right here from a distance. This at the stump hole, and see him way up there in the tree. That's just cool in itself, with the sky, with cirrus clouds behind it, and just the old dead trees from the hurricane. And she got a close-up. Now, would it be in a phone picture that far away? I thought that was great, but he's gripping that one little limb there. He's got a tight grip on it. I always look at the grip. Their claws are so strong. Now he's looking back behind him, and you know what he's looking for. He's looking for something to eat. And he looks back forward. He thinks he sees something, and she took a lot of pictures, and guess what? He sees something and takes off. But is that not a great picture with your phone? And he's just leaving that perch, and he's got extended legs and wings spread. And eagles are so majestic. So great pictures right there. Okay, move on from eagles to deer. This is a range of the North American white-tailed deer. As you can see, even they are smart enough to stay out of California. I didn't know they were not in those western states there, but it is antelope and all. But you see deer all over the place in North America. All right, well, I'm always talking on Friday Fishing Report about fishing off the Lynn Haven Bridge, and this is on the Panama City fishing page. Steve Smith, hi everyone. I was just fishing off the bridge at 77. I think it's called the Bailey Bridge. It is. And anyone know what this is? I'm from St. Louis. My wife is from Panama City, and we will be moving back here later this year. So I've got a lot of learning to do on the salt water. I want to know what kind of fish that was. Well, folks, I hope you recognize that as a whiting. It is a very good fish to eat. But it goes to show you, you don't have to be an expert fisherman like this guy's basically visiting. He just gives it a try. And Steve Smith called it nice. He got some nice fish to eat right there. Okay, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back with some more pictures. Okay, welcome back. Bill Roxby's really good about sending us some videos of different things in the outdoors. And you know, if you're like me, you always enjoy grilling out, and you don't grill out that much in the wintertime as you do in the spring and summer and fall. It's just, because of the weather, basically. And a lot of times you just close that grill and just leave it unattended. Well, Bill's daughter's friend, someone she knew, this is, okay, we're gonna run this video here. Let me see if I can get it, okay. Let's see if I'm going. Okay, so here's the grill. You know you hadn't grilled in a while. You open up the grill. What ran out? That was a squirrel that just ran out. Folks, look at there. We got some baby squirrels. Is that not? I love this realistic, real people video that we get from our viewers. And there are some baby squirrels in the grill right there. Okay, let me see the next picture. Here they are. Here's a close-up of them. So here's what happened. I asked. Okay, now look, they're grown. So his daughter took them in, and I asked him what happened. His daughter, first of all, she took them in to save them, of course, and then she's going to try to get them a little bit stronger and release them, which is a very commendable thing to do. And I always ask, did you name them? You don't ever want to name. And he said no, they didn't, because if you ever name them, you don't want to get rid of them. You think we always have one. We had one a long time ago. We named same situation, we tried to save it, and named it Skipper. And the kids always want to know, what's Skipper doing? You know, he's been gone 2 years. I wonder about Skipper. So you don't want to name him anyway. She's going to release them shortly when they get a little bit stronger. So thank you for sharing that with Bill Roxby. Talking about sharing, Jack Nichols shared this. Here he is out here in Colorado. He's talking about Florida. And this. I want you to stop and just sort of catch your breath, because I'm going through this because it's so important. This is the 2024 annual review of the Redfish management metrics. So I'm going to break down each region for you. So of course it's in the Panhandle. So anyway, here we are here. These are and the Big Bend. It goes in all the way over to Wakulla County. So let's go to stakeholder feedback. As to satisfaction with a recent fishing experience. Okay, on the left column are the captains. On the right column, folks like us, recreational. The big thing, of course, is the big majority of them is fair. Green, if you see green, that means they had a very good experience doing this. The sort of orange reddish right to the left of green is the one that had a very poor experience. That was about 11%, and very poor. So you see the category. But look how similar the chart is for the recreational as for the for hire. The same amount of people had a very good relationship when they went fishing. So I thought that was really good. And then on the bottom right here, perceived threat. Here's what they think they worry about, the threat to the fishery. The big one in yellow is just other. That's a combination of things. But the illegal harvest, people catching them and not releasing them, and also, and then of course to me, the habitat loss is a big deal. And what about the between the coastal development, between the habitat loss and coastal development together on the bottom of the chart? That's some big some threat. The fishing pressure, the captains doubled what the recreational did. 28% was fishing pressure from so many people out there because they see it every day, as compared to recreational at 14%. Okay, so this is good. I'm gonna move on. Just real quickly, this goes back to the 1990s, the rates for the Panhandle. I want to show you one of the really good years. This is how it's increased from 97 on to now on the fishing effort and landings. This is anglers targeting redfish each year. This is how many is doing it. You see how many more redfish we have now going back to 1997? Is that not interesting, the number of trips they're taking? All right, here's another one, the total catch. This was my favorite one because it shows something happened in 2019. Now, I guess 2018, maybe the hurricane got them stirred up, but look at the catch they had around 2018, 2019. It was incredible. And then it plummeted down, and then it's sort of leveling back off now. But the redfish count is down as far as landings. And of course, almost all folks are releasing redfish now. A lot of folks, most of them are. And of course, the algae bloom, possible. We've only had 3 in the past, several years, past 20 years. We only had 3 redfish that were killed by, 3 algae blooms. And the habitat trend, this is the, right here, I love it. If I had a class, I'd be showing this to them today and talking about how decrease in the seagrass in the red area, okay, in the marsh. The yellow is pretty stable. But then go over here, this breaks it down. And I want to show you, let's go down to us here at St. Andrew Bay. Number 7, okay? First of all, number 6, Saltratcha Bay has had an increase on that far right column. They've had a sort of an increase, which is surprising, in the seagrass. St. Andrew Bay, they're going down. St. Joe Bay, the biggest one I'm talking about, St. Joe Bay, they've had a decrease of 21% on that far right, third line up from the bottom. 21% decrease from 1992 to 2019, a decrease in the seagrass. And of course, so I just want those are just some good. Okay, real quick, Apalachicola Bay, and let's see. Oh, here's a summary. I hope you enjoy this as much as I do. Number one, abundance of legal-sized redfish have been increasing since 2017. Then go down to the other red line. Seagrass acreage trends have buried long-term increases in Chartessia Bay, St. Andrew Bay, but declines in Santa Rosa Sound and St. Joseph Bay. And bottom line, the majority of survey respondents describe their redfish experience either good or fair. So anyway, that's coming from, that's a 20-something year study, well over 20 years. Goes back to the 90s, almost a 30-year study of what's going on with the redfish, the same study each year. So, but one thing that stands out, more people are fishing now. So you see that. So it's going to increase like that. It's not going to get it better, but what makes it better is releasing a lot of them. One quick picture of, because it's going to lead into my fishing report, the Carabel River. This is Joe Mercurio down there fishing, and I love his report right here because he said, it's a weird day, okay? First hour, nothing. I was ready to head back. The next 20 minutes, a sheephead and redfish and black drum, boom, boom, boom. The last 45 minutes, nothing. Now, is that not a typical fishing trip? But here's the pictures of his catch right here, and they're all right there. Good job of fishing there, Joe, because that's when you've done that before. You're out there fishing and nothing, and all of a sudden, boom, 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 they turn it on, and you start catching them. So we wanted to share that with you, and some good stuff there. All right, let's get to our drawings, and we're getting ready to do our famous Friday fishing forecast, but I always want to draw, and glad that Steve pitched. We got you in here along with your cousin Tim pitched, so just want to make sure of that. And so if Tim wins, you win also, okay? Here we go. The big fried mullet plate. Don't that sound good today? At Gene's Orchard Bar. Braden Harris. Braden. Okay, the winner right there. I know he'll enjoy that. You take your daddy over there and get some oysters. All right. $20 gift certificate to Tarpon Dock from Bluntstown, Randall Harrell. And the winner, the big red snapper, all the way from Fountain, Crystal Melvin family up there. So you got 3 winners, Panama City, Bluntstown, and Fountain. All right, we're going to take a quick break and be right back with our famous Friday fishing forecast. Hi, welcome back and welcome to the famous Friday fishing forecast brought to us by Jessica Lean, Insurance Group and Financial Group. We appreciate their sponsorship of this segment. I was looking through, I save all my notes and all for each week, so I could actually write a book on what's biting each week here in the Panhandle. But it's fun to do, and I do spend time doing it. I just don't throw it together. I talk to people and get reports, and there's different things. And the first thing I thought about, I just showed you the picture of the Carabel River. But the first thing that affected us now was the wind. It's been so windy this week, and it really curtails it. And that's when I tell y'all to get up the creek. Well, that's what Joe did. He went up the Carabel River and caught those fish in a small amount of time. So I was going to show you the Carabel River. Before we get to that, though, I want to make sure to watch on Monday's show. I try to line up my guests. I have Captain Greg Gladden coming on. He's one of my former students who's a full-time captain, a very successful inshore captain here, and he's got a great story how he left a good job and just took a chance on going to what he loved to do. And I followed him now since he's been in my class, one of my former students of the month. And so you don't want to miss Monday's show. All right, moving on to Carabel River. Here it is right here. Okay, let's zoom in on this because it is such a cool river because, number one, because it's coming out of Tate's Hell and there are no houses up there. I mean, it's coming naturally from a forest. So here we go. So zoom in on in. And of course, you know where we are. This is Sea-Quarters Marina there to the right, but you're going up the river and you sort of have houses down in here. But get on up there, and you just have so many cool places to go. But really and truly, the fish are biting right in here, this area right in the center of the screen. Okay, be out of the wind. You got marsh areas on both sides, and if you want to go out into the bay, we've talked about that before. I won't spend a lot of time on it, but a lot of good fishing there. So anyway, the boat ramps. People want to know where boat ramps are. Well, the big thing on the boat ramps, the best one, I'm going to zoom right in here on what I call river walk. See this boat ramp right here? a great little ramp. You can park on both sides, and then you can go upriver or downriver. It'd be good places to go. So anyway, I was going to show you different boat ramps at different places, and we're blessed here in the Panhandle to have a lot of good boat ramps, but we've got to take care of them. Okay, move on. I wanted to talk, the East Point's got a good ramp there, and also the Indian Pass boat ramps, and good natural boat ramps that don't charge like they do in St. Joe, where they charge you, it's like $20, $18, $20 now to launch there. It's crazy. And I would always say it ain't right. But now, we're in March, third fog of March. We're going to start talking about it. Well, we don't have any fog with all the wind, but when the wind dies down, probably sometime next week, we'll have a fog or two. And that's when we start looking for the Spanish mackerel. So that's something you can sort of go along with me, looking for it, and hoping things are going to be jumping with the Spanish mackerel. A lot of fun to catch with the kids. So that's going to be good. Also, redfish at the pass is always good when the outgoing tide. I also wrote down drum. You saw the picture of the young man, Steve Smith, from out of town, comes in and goes to the Beta Bridge and catches a whiting. And so, just go. The bridge fishing this time of year is some of the best fishing you can do on February and March. It's really good bridge fishing. So the whiting are still out there. You've seen one pompano I've showed this week, and I'm sure that was a resident pompano that stayed here all winter. It's not part of spring run because you see how big it was. Usually those first ones coming through, those what I call the scouts, are not that big. I think it's always the young ones they send up, the first ones coming through in the schools. Jumping on freshwater, catfishing is going to be really good. You see, I showed you the river reading earlier about Shawtachi going up and then it starts coming down. There's going to be some really good fishing there. The apparatus code runs down just good, steady. You can get out there and catch some blue cats. You saw some pictures from the catfish tournament 2 weeks ago, and you can just get them early if you can. Also wrote down Choctahatchee River. I wrote down on the catfish there. They caught some really big catfish. If you remember, I get a lot of these reports. I'm going through the whole week, and these pictures I show, I'll give them the reports, and then I go to the tackle stores and get their reports, and then I talk to people. So that's where it all comes from. So we'll wrap it up for the week. Don't forget to stay tuned next week. Monday will be a good show. Have some more guests coming on and some really cool stuff. I'm having some guest hosts coming on. So I'll wrap it up. I appreciate your viewership this week and all the good things y'all talked about. And y'all do something good for someone else today. Enjoy the great outdoors. Take care of it. And God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.